Yo, let's talk about where I've been and what's to come in 2026. What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and you're probably thinking, where the hell you been at? It's been a while since I posted a video, and I thought I'd make a little update video, but also talk about what's to come on this channel in 2026. So let me start off by saying Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a fun and safe holiday. For myself, the month of November and December was just crazy busy for myself. I was everywhere. I was back and forth traveling, spending time with family. Obviously, it's the holiday season, so I was all over the place. But it was also a good, nice little reset for myself. This YouTube thing, it's pretty demanding, so giving myself a couple months to take a break was well deserved. Outside of that, the store's been doing great. My retail store here in Torrance, California has been moving. We had a couple big drops. The days leading up to Christmas that we did open and I was in town, we had a good turnout. But what it also did was open my eyes to some more things that I want to do within the store. This year, 2025, I focused heavily on the store, stocking the shelves, creating designs just for the store. A lot of the stuff that's in store is not online, promoting the store, and just working on the foot traffic coming into the store. And I think we accomplished that this year. I relied heavy on local social media marketing, meaning I was targeting a lot of people that lived in the surrounding area of my store. And I made videos about this during the year to explain how I was doing it, but just as a small refresher, I was utilizing a lot of food content to promote my products in my store. And I must say it worked out in my favor. So what I was doing was I was going to popular South Bay eateries, restaurants, mom and pop spots, new spots. I was really relying on the popularity of food posts. And when I say food posts, I'm talking about putting somebody up on a new restaurant or old restaurant, showing them some new foods, because food always gets shared no matter what. Anytime there's a food post, there's thousands on top of thousands of shares on that post. Whether you're a popular food blogger or food influencer or just popular foodie, those videos are always getting shared. So when I seen that, I said I need to do that, but I'm gonna do it my way. And when I say doing it my way, I'm gonna make sure I put my products in the background of a lot of my food content, so that way people will repost the video talking about the food in the South Bay, but in the background of the video, it's gonna be like me wearing this South Bay hoodie. So that way when people see the South Bay restaurant get reposted, they're also gonna see this South Bay sweater without even them knowing. That is 100% on how I've been selling these hoodies. You guys seen the brown one I dropped last year. This gray one was dropped this year. I also did some green crew necks. I did black and white that I could never keep in stock. That is 100% how I sold these products. And majority of these products are in-store purchases only, not online. I ended up putting the brown hoodies online, but they do better in-store than they do online. That's how I was selling them. Was I would go to these restaurants, I would show the food like every other food influencer. Sometimes I'd give my ratings, sometimes I talk about the price, sometimes I talk about the vibe of the actual restaurant, and that's about it. I kept the videos pretty short. The main star of the video was the food, but in the background, it's my dumbass wearing the hoodie or wearing the t-shirt that I'm selling, or the hat, or whatever product I was trying to push and promote was in the background of those food videos. So that way, when everybody's reposting the food content, they're also seeing my products. And I specifically made sure I only did South Bay restaurants because I am promoting South Bay products in my store. That has been a game changer for this store. It has been a game changer for the foot traffic to the store and the popularity of the products in the store. It was all driven by food posts. It wasn't me trying to sell this hoodie, it was me using social media the way it's intended to be used. And if everybody's already reposting and sharing food content, I said, why not do it for myself, but do it my way? So I'm internally grateful for all the new customers and returning customers that we have in this store. That was my main goal this year, was to focus on the store, and it worked. Now, secondly, where have I been? Like I said, I've been traveling back and forth all over the place. I travel a lot throughout the year, but November and December was a heavy traveling time for myself, so I was all over the place. On top of traveling, the day that I came back, I got in an accident and I crashed my truck, but I'm fine. Nothing happened to me. I'm good. The other person was good. My truck took the beating. It always could have been worse. I'm grateful that I'm still here. My truck looks worse than what the accident really was, but that was also one of the setbacks for myself in December. So when I came back, there was a lot of things that I had to put on hold because of the accident. A lot of my business was halted because of it, but while my truck gets fixed, I'm slowly getting back into things. Now let's talk about what's to come in the new year. 2026, what am I trying to focus on? What am I working on? What's the plans? So in 2025, what I did was I did a lot of trial and error when it comes to the podcast, BSing with Brando. You see the chairs behind me, you see the microphones behind me. I dropped a few episodes here and there, and I recorded a ton of episodes. I've been recording episodes for this thing for years now, and it never comes out the way that I want it to come out, or it never comes out the way we both, me and whoever I'm interviewing, want it to come out. The conversations are always dope, but there's really no direction when it comes to it. It's just regular conversation, which is cool. But at the same exact time, if I'm gonna release something, I wanna make sure that the person I'm interviewing is released in a really good light. It's not gonna incriminate them, but I also want there to be some sort of substance behind it. So throughout this year, I tried a bunch of different formats on how I was gonna do it. The way the conversation flowed, the interview questions I was asking, what the whole purpose of the actual interview was gonna be about, outside of just promoting yourself and things like that. I really wanna give a lot of people a chance to use my platform when they come here. Majority of the people that I interviewed throughout this year and last year didn't have a big social media following. They're all business owners, but they don't focus on social media. A lot of times they just focus on the business and they have other people doing their social media for them. So this is their first time being in front of a camera, getting a chance to brag about their business. So I want to make sure that these business owners get a chance to really do it in a positive light. And then that's where I found the format of the show. I was always trying to just hit like an hour conversation or something like that. And I was really focused on like chopping up the podcast episode into short form stuff. So I was trying to ask like these really triggering questions that are going to get a really good answer out of them. And that strategy works, right? A lot of podcasts do it. You see a lot of people do that, but I was really forcing something that wasn't me. So once I took a step back and actually watched some of these episodes and I shared them with a few friends and family, I got a better understanding of what direction I want to take it in. And I necessarily don't want it to be a podcast. I'd rather just have it a conversation on the channel. So I think eliminating the headphones and all that, we'll keep the microphones because we need the audio, but instead of that stereotypical podcast setting, it will be more of just the interview and giving a person a chance to leverage my platform to talk about what they do and what they've been through. The conversation will still be the same. The questions will be a little bit different, but now the episodes will have an actual purpose. So I already started bankrolling and recording a few and editing them down, and they're starting to fall into the pocket. Well, what I feel is the pocket, something that I feel proud of and something that the person I'm interviewing feels proud of. Some episodes are 30 minutes, some episodes are an hour, a little over an hour, but I feel like the show has more of a direction now. So 2026, I'm planning on releasing more of those, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe the people will like it, maybe the people won't like it, but as for now that I have an actual clear view on what I want to do and how I want to take the show, it makes the show a lot easier, where I'm not scrambling around trying to find these like really triggering questions. The episodes don't sound exactly the same, and that's what I was like falling into when I was recording them, was I was asking everybody the same questions, where the episodes started to sound the same and just real like cookie cutter. It wasn't me, and it wasn't what I'm used to doing. So that's probably why I didn't feel comfortable releasing a lot of the episodes. So going back to the drawing board and fixing things and like working it through live really helped me out. So in 2026, I'm planning on releasing a lot more of those. All of this might look different in a lot of the episodes. Some might be done here, some might be out in the field, some might be in the store, some might be in the shop. I might choose different locations to do this thing. It's not always gonna be here on these two chairs, but the conversations are dope to me. And another thing that I'm gonna be working on is bringing back another series that's sort of like starting from scratch. When I started Leftovers years ago, was that 2017 or whatever it was, I documented the journey of starting a brand for YouTube. It's been about 9 years since I did it, so I'm thinking about doing it again for you guys. So what I'm gonna do is start another brand, really to show you the process. Creating the designs, coming up with the names and concepts, sourcing blanks, the transfers I plan on using, the products I plan on releasing, how I launch products, the social media campaigns that go behind it on how I'm gonna market and promote all these products, all the way down to pricing. I might even try to do an outsourcing one where I do some cut and sew for the brand. I don't know yet, but I've been thinking about it. I spoke about it a little bit on the last live stream that I did. If you guys know, I live stream every single Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on YouTube and TikTok. I'm planning on keeping doing that every Tuesday, but I was talking about it and it seemed like something that a lot of people were interested in. So I might bring that series back. Maybe it'll be like a part 2 or a chapter 2 or something like that of starting from scratch. I'll create the playlist and drop all the videos in there so that people can actually keep up with what I do to start a brand and everything in between. Like I said, sourcing the blanks, finding the different manufacturers to use, what direction I want to go into, who I want to sell these things to, how I market it to those people, how to make a sale, how to convert potential customers into paying customers and turning them into returning customers. All of that stuff will be broken down in that series. And outside of all of that, basically, still work on the store. There's a few things that we want to switch up within the store. Some of the products that we have in the store, we want to go heavy on certain things. So we're going to start doing that. I'm just trying to keep the content on this channel as fresh as possible and as current as possible so things don't start to feel outdated and the information still is relevant to anybody trying to start a business today. Because the ultimate goal here for this channel, and it's always been the same, is to be able to help out anybody out there trying to get into this game and provide them a little bit of information to better their situation. That's always been the goal. I've always said the same exact thing about this channel and nothing's changed. 10 years, I don't even know how long I've been on YouTube, but I want to say it's about 10 years. The mission is always gonna be helping the people. So any way I could provide information, some tips and tricks, some hacks, some things that I found along the way, I'm always gonna put it on this channel for the people. All right, if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video right here, please leave it in the comment. It's always easier to ask every question in the comments. There is no question that is a dumb question. So don't be embarrassed or don't feel like, oh, I got to DM this person because I don't want other people to read my question. No, the best part about it is a lot of people that are watching these videos, chances are they have the same questions as you. So if you ask that question in the comments and I answer it, we're helping a lot of people, not just you, we're helping people just like you. So please leave every question in the comments for me. I see them faster, I respond quicker. It's easier for me to get to those than trying to navigate through all the DMs that I get every single day. So if you have questions, please leave it in the comments for me. I'll try to help you out as best as possible, or somebody else from the community might be able to help you out also. Now, if you wanted to, you can always follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. This is where you could see me pressing shirts, embroidering hats, packing up orders. All the day-to-day stuff is always gonna be on my Instagram. So if you wanted to, check me out on there, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.